Okay, it looks like we have a quorum, I think. Is that Jody? Are you back in?
Yes, I'm back in.
Okay, so I think that Vice Chair Gamble is going to try to call in if he's not in yet as he can, and then we do have Board Member Siegel and Quintana here. So if I think according to our rules, it looks like Jody, you're the chair right now.
Okay.
So all you have to do is welcome us, I think, and then we'll move along.
Okay. Or I was just gonna ask someone who actually has a viewing screen to do that, but no problem. Welcome to everyone, and I'll turn it over to one of the other board members that actually has a screen and can see what's going on. Sorry, I'm calling in by phone.
Linda,
that would be, yeah, go ahead.
You mind moving us along? Thank you.
So, okay, we need to call a meeting to order. We have a quorum. Are we, I don't have the agenda in front of me. Are we doing minutes or anything?
Nope. We have one.
Okay, we're just going into the agenda items. Right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So thank you all for being here. This is the actually the fourth board meeting today that we've had with Chess Colleges to approve the MOU that between Chess, the organization, and our vendor Workday. So I can't even tell you how long we've been working on this project. It's been years. The last couple of years are a lot clearer in my memory because we were actually working on something so much more concrete than what is this project and how is it going to work. So this is really, I think this is, I told my group at Convocation this morning that this is the biggest project that any of our schools have worked on ever. And I think probably any of the colleges in New Mexico have ever worked on. So we are very excited to take this next step and move ahead with our vendor and to be able to start to work on this project and implement this. So without any further delay, I would like to introduce Kathy Ulibarri, who is the Executive Director of the New Mexico Independent Community College Association. Kathy is largely the brains behind all of this and has helped us get to this point. And she's going to introduce the people from Campus Works and from our vendor today, and they're going to give you a better overview of what we're up to. So go ahead, Kathy.
Thank you so much, Chairperson Siegel, trustees, and President Rowley. Thank you for allowing me to join you today. As Becky mentioned, my name is Kathy Ulibarri, and I'm here representing the Collaborative for Higher Education Shared Services that are known as CHESS. As you know, CHESS is the nonprofit entity that will serve as the vehicle for 5 member colleges to partner on the purchase, implementation, maintenance of a single instant cloud-based enterprise software system in a manner that will allow colleges to enjoy the benefits of collaboration while retaining and solidifying each college's independent status. Today stands to be an exciting, even historic day for CHESS member colleges. The boards of 5 separate colleges, Clovis Community College, CNM, Northern New Mexico College, San Juan College, and our very own Santa Fe Community College, will all consider approval of an MOU that ultimately enables CHESS to contract with Workday to implement an integrated system for finance, human capital management, and student information management. In partnership with Workday, our colleges will not only improve and align business processes and back office operations, but they will also transform the student experience, leading to improved student success for students enrolled in 5 different colleges located in 5 distinctly unique communities. Santa Fe Community College, in partnership with the other chess colleges, has become a nationally recognized leader in offering an innovative approach to collaboratively working together for the benefit of students. I would like to introduce you to our partners in this transformative journey. First, it is my privilege to introduce you to Liz Murphy, CEO of CampusWorks. CampusWorks has provided professional guidance in the development of our RFP, savvy negotiation support, and a shoulder to lean on as we prepare for a complex system implementation. Liz, would you please be so kind as to share a few words and introduce your team from CampusWorks?
My pleasure, Kathy, and it's wonderful to be with all of you on this historic day. Let me introduce you to a couple of members of our very large team that's been working side by side with the folks at the colleges. Dawn Stoyanov is somebody you will continue to see engaged in this project. Dawn is the lead for CampusWorks on all things that we will be doing side by side with you, including program management, change management, and technical support. We've been engaged with you for several years right now, at the very beginning with the legislative package that went forward to see perhaps if you could get some support for this very innovative idea. Joining me at the very beginning of this project is Carolyn Moran. She's an executive consultant and executive advisor to chess and the colleges throughout the evaluation and selection period. We have been privileged to work together with you, to guide you, to push on the bruise a little, and to inspire you to achieve the vision that you set out for yourselves. I do want to let you know that this project is rather unparalleled in higher education in North America. While there are other consortia, they have not been built based on the leadership of strong CEOs at the individual colleges who've come together as equals, regardless of size, of student body, budget, staffing. When the chess college presidents get together, they are equal in their decision-making, in the voting, in the perspectives that they're bringing to the table. And it is that creative and balanced approach, I think, that has allowed you to achieve this extraordinary vision. The other thing that's very unique about the Chess Collaborative is that it is designed with the student first. Lots of times when consortia are structured, they're structured for cost-saving reasons, and that drives people in an imbalanced way. I've been in higher education for 35 years, and I've seen a lot of these programs go belly up. And the reason they do is they never actually achieve an outcome because it wasn't a shared vision. It was something that was seen on the balance sheet. Where I see chess going is a very collaborative, innovative approach to putting students first, allowing them to achieve their educational goals. And the happy byproduct of all that is efficiency and effectiveness, both with your talent and on your balance sheet. It's going to be a privilege to continue to work side by side to make your vision a reality, and we look forward to doing that with you.
Thank you so much, Liz. Next, I'm excited to share with you a little bit about our selected vendor partner, Workday. Not only is Workday one of the leading enterprise resource planning system vendors in the world, but philosophically, they deeply understand our desire for collaboration and sharing while also maintaining independence. They share our chess vision for harnessing the power of partnership so that even the smallest colleges can provide their students with the very same quality user experiences as the largest institutions in the nation. Please let me introduce to you Mr. Kevin Malloy, here representing Workday today. Kevin, would you like to make a few comments and introduce your colleagues from Workday?
Yes, Kathy, thank you. And good afternoon, everyone. President Rowley, Board of Governors. I am pleased to talk to you today. My name is Kevin Malloy. I'm Workday's Senior Higher Education Advisor. I, as well, alongside Liz, is a 35-year higher education professional. With me here today, I wanted to talk a little bit about Workday, but also introduce you to the team that will be on the ground in New Mexico with you when we get the chance to do that. as a part of our offering and our deployment strategy going forward. Mike Lopez is here with us today. Mike, give everybody a wave. Mike is a senior executive here at Workday and raised his hand alongside Lisa Coulter to be the executive sponsors for this project in New Mexico, based on what you're doing that's so unique in defining we think, the future of higher education, in the way you're coming together as a collaborative to streamline the administrative systems and give your students a world-class experience using Workday. Also with us today, Sarah Schwartz is here, somewhere in our screen. Hi, Sarah. Sarah's here. Sarah will be the person responsible for the everyday goings-on of the project as we move forward with the collaborative in this particular project. She's a very, very experienced project manager, engagement manager for us, and Sarah's excited to be jumping in on this particular project with us. We're super excited to have her with us. Jim Lester's with us today. Jim sits right next to Patrick Oakey. They actually listened to what your requirements were. We talked to the organization. We presented to you all. We worked hours and hours with Jerry. I want to give Jerry a shout out for her work. Kathy, obviously a shout out for your work as well. Carolyn, a shout out for your work. You all came back to us on in numerous times on things you wanted changed or what could we do possibility-wise in this project, and pushed us. I think Liz said pushed on the bruise a little bit on Workday to come up with what we think is an opportunity at a price point you can manage to deploy a world-class platform that's going to make it easier to use, support, and deploy administrative systems in the future. And as I said earlier, we are all about the student experience at Workday. More than 10 years supporting higher education, more than 200 institutions using our product around the US and abroad. And we have the opportunity to obviously partner with you tonight as well. Hey, Zach Baird's with us as well. Zach and Jack Keys also worked on this initiative. I think Jack and I started with some presentations in New Mexico. Becky, I think it was 5 years ago that I can remember the first time we came and did some road shows across the state to some of the schools as well. And Zach's been our bird dog on this from the Workday perspective. And I just want to give Zach a shout out as well. I think he's Jerry's new best friend, alongside Caroline as well, as all the work that you all have done. Last thing I'll say to the board and President Rowley is this idea of collaboration, but independence for each of the schools. Really important to us at Workday. You're going into a single environment so we can gain those efficiencies. You can give the students the ability to have a world-class experience, to look across the state for your academic offerings. But this idea that you will have at Santa Fe and other places, the ability to have some uniqueness in the way, one, we put the strategy together for the deployment, two, how the system will actually be designed and tested and put into production, and three, give your students at your institution a great experience that you're all known for there in terms of what makes you unique in higher education. You're joining a great group of schools in the Workday community. We've got Aspen award-winning community colleges. We've got large systems. We've got really small community colleges that run Workday. We've got the smallest community college in America as of about a month ago running Workday at Erie Community College in Pennsylvania, which opened their doors this month in Pennsylvania. They don't have a student yet. They're running Workday. So just to give you a sense for the types of institutions, all the way up to the really big guys like the Ivy Tech system and Dallas College and lots of those places as well. I wanted to just say thank you to the team at Chess, the work that you've done and created this opportunity for Workday to be a part of what we think, as I said earlier, a great opportunity to lead higher education in the future. And I can see great success for all of you. So thank you so much, Kathy.
Thank you, Kevin. Now
Hello.
I'd like to.
Hello, I'm sorry to interrupt. This is George Gamble. I'm just joining you.
Hi,
Thank
George.
Thank you, George.
Hello.
Madam Chair, if I may, I'd now like to introduce Ms. Jerry Decker, Chief Procurement Officer for this project. Jerry, would you please share information about the RFP process and results?
Yes, Kathy, thank you. And Chair Spiegel, board members, and President Rowley. The RFP process was started with hundreds of subject matter experts across all 5 colleges. And I see some of your very own here on this call, Thomasina and Corey. They spent hours together to determine what a new system had to have, but were also encouraged to dream big and define the perfect system that they would like. The dynamics of these groups and their unique ideas formed the criteria for the RFP. There were 123 evaluators that formed 11 different teams, including a coordinating committee with executives across all schools, 3 technical teams with subject matter experts, a finance team, an HR payroll team, and 5 different student teams. C&M's purchasing office, on behalf of CHESS, issued the RFP on December 18, 2020. On the closing date of February 12, 2021, there were 5 responsive bidders' proposals received. After the evaluation team scored the written responses, 3 bidders were moved to step 2 demonstrations. Each bidder had 2.5 days to demonstrate their products and services through the weeks of April 20th through May 6th of 2021. Each bidder also had 1 hour opportunity to give a high-level overview of their products and services to 3 separate groups, a group of students, faculty, and interested staff that were not on the evaluation teams. We gathered feedback from these groups via SurveyMonkey. The scores were calculated and presented to the CHESS board on June 18th, 2021. The CHESS board, comprised of each college's president, unanimously voted to select Workday to provide the ERP and SIS service, software and services. Since then, we have finalized all contract negotiations with Workday. And if there's no questions, I'll hand it back to Kathy.
Thank you, Jerry. Moving on, Carolyn Moran from Campus Works will share with you information about the cost sharing arrangement and cost allocation methodology found in Exhibit A of the MOU that is before you for consideration this evening. Carolyn?
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a privilege to be with all of you, the Santa Fe Board and President Rowley. Thank you. I am going to share my screen. There was a short PowerPoint deck in the board materials. So for those of you calling in, that is the material I'm looking at now. And I will share which slide I am on so that everyone can follow along more easily. Today we're going to talk about the memo of understanding and the methodology that we used across the member institutions for planning cost allocations. But before I get into that more detailed numeric component, I wanted to share with you some information with regard to what Workday has done over the course of these negotiations as a true consideration of the important partnership that they view their relationship with CHESS long-term. And there were a number of significant financial considerations that were put forth and have been rolled into this contract. So much so that this will result in over 9.15 million in savings over the first 10 years of the relationship with Workday. And this is comprised of a set of subscription licenses that represent $6.8 million alone that will be shared in benefit not only of the first 4 Wave 1 institutions, but we also believe we'll be able to cover the Wave 2 institutions, meaning that as CHESS grows, the cost allocation and cost sharing begins to go down, which is a tremendous asset and opportunity for CHES as a whole. Further, with the planned implementation for the Wave 1 institutions, which is envisioned to last about 4 years, and will start with finance and HCM, Workday is not charging subscription licenses for the student domain, which will not begin until the project is more underway. Also, they agreed to decrease their usual subscription escalators in years 6 through 10 down from 4% to 2%. And they also assisted in the long-term training and sustainability for CHES by doubling the available on-demand training user library access at no additional charge. So we've had numerous conversations with each of the boards so far today of the other member institutions about the importance of training. And so this as an offer is also a tremendous opportunity for CHES to continue to enhance and grow and have tremendous system viability well into the future. So let me move then to a discussion of the cost allocation methodology. So on the top right side of this slide is a 4-row slide. Santa Fe Community College is in the 4th row. And this chart represents the planned allocation of the Wave 1 institutions. So our methodology is proposed as thus. For finance and human resources, the subscription and implementation services are prorated based on the size of the institution, and in this case, the number of employees and the employee FTE. Similarly, the student subscription and implementation services are also allocated proportionally to the number of student FTE, so that the value proposition for each member institution scales as CHES grows, scales as each institution grows, but it also reinforces that opportunity for any sized institution to be able to have such a strong benefit from such a strong platform as the Workday solution is going to provide. So in Wave 1, the chart shows the relative portion for each institution. In the lower right-hand side, it is a chart representing Waves 1 and 2. San Juan College is the first confirmed Wave 2 institution that will be implementing. And there are 2 other potential institutions, Mesa Lands and Luna Community College, at this time. And so we wanted to show how the proportional allocation begins to change and improve for each of the member colleges as CHES grows over time. So this percentage has been rendered in the MOU Exhibit A, as Kathy mentioned. And so if we then look at a combination, which is the 3rd slide that I am now showing, this is a blended percent share. So when we look at the combination of all the components of the Workday solution and the contract, including subscription costs, program leadership costs, and implementation and training services provided, Santa Fe Community College overall proportion is blended percentage is 16% based on the size of the institution and this allocation methodology that we're using. For those of you who have also noted on this chart, San Juan College has a 3% share in this Wave 1. And that is because as not only as a founding member of CHES, they were intimately involved with the evaluation selection process, and they wanted to be involved in the fundamental design of the new Workday solution for CHES. Though they will not formally begin implementation until wave 2, they wanted to contribute. They wanted to contribute their expertise, and they are also contributing financially. And so this allocation model also aligns the program leadership that Workday is providing, such that all 5 colleges, including San Juan College, pay an equal share of those costs as part of this contract, and hence why San Juan is represented as participating financially as well during the wave 1 process.
Excuse me, this is Linda Siegel. I just have a question about why, I mean, San Juan has been involved in the discussions all along. Why aren't they fully participating in the wave 1?
Madam Chair, I'm happy to address that. This is Kathy. San Juan College is currently in the midst of a major data conversion project that is a precursor to being able to implement a new ERP and student information system. And so they need to complete that project before they will be able to begin implementation of this initiative. And the timing just didn't work for them to complete that to join wave 1. I think they would have liked to have joined wave 1.
So they already have a different process that they're working on?
Madam Chair, it's for a totally different purpose.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, but it's a workload issue in terms of their capacity to be able to manage this, and it is a data conversion issue that must be completed before they are able to pull data into Workday.
Okay, thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. That was a very important clarification for the overall project. So this next slide has quite a lot of information on it. On the right-hand side is a sample forecast of the total first 5-year of costs from the Workday portion specifically for all of the wave 1 institutions, which are the first 4. Santa Fe is represented in the 4th position, and also forecasting the subscription and implementation costs for wave 2. And this again could be influenced by a number of different factors. First, the pace, the actual pace year over year of the implementation project may change how this total works in real life. And as the Workday team works with the CHESS project management office, the detailed project plan is going to be refined. And in summary, it's expected that the finance and HCM solution will be approximately 18 months in duration for the implementation, and the SIS component will follow for the subsequent 2 years. But important to note that the Workday contract is a time and materials contract, which means that if CHESS has additional expertise that they can bring to the table, if not as much assistance is needed from the very robust implementation program that they have put into the contract, that will have a positive impact on the overall cash flow and expense as well. Additionally, as both the CHESS universe grows, and as each institution's growth path happens, that will also have an impact on the subscription costs. So this is a true native cloud subscription solution. So as the student count increases, as the employee or faculty count increases over the next 10 years, that could be a factor. So it's also important to note that much as San Juan is working on a legacy system conversion, that is a precursor to getting involved with the CHESS project, each college has a suite of legacy systems that as Workday comes into production, will be able to be decommissioned. And there's going to be a measure of cost savings across each of the participating colleges over time as that process happens. And finally, two other key components are San Juan is a confirmed Wave 2 institution. The number of institutions and the size of each of those institutions, again, influence the cost share opportunity. So whether there are 2, 3, 4, 5 colleges in Wave 2, and even as we look towards Wave 3 and beyond, all of these things are going to have a positive, beneficial, financial allocation impact for the Wave 1 colleges. So my last presentation slide is a side-by-side, year-over-year sample of an anticipated cash flow for each of the participating institutions. And again, armed with some of the variables and some of the pacing, this is designed to share information. And since Santa Fe Community College is the financial agent on behalf of Chess, the Amy and her team are going to be able to utilize the models, allocations, and tools that Chess has set forward to help not only with the management, but also the reporting and information access that Chess is going to need moving forward. So let me pause if there are any questions, or I will certainly hand this back to Kathy.
This is George Campbell. I just have a question about Workday. Have they done this kind of program elsewhere?
Madam Chair, Mr. Gamble, absolutely. Workday is an experienced vendor, and you'll get to hear from them in a few minutes, but they are in place, installed, and working at many colleges and universities throughout the country, including system type situations and multi-institution situations.
Okay, thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce Ms. Debbie Ramirez from Rhodey Law. Ms. Ramirez has served as legal counsel to Chess throughout the RFP process. In addition, she has provided legal guidance in the development of the MOU before you today. Debbie, could you please walk us through the content of the MOU?
Yes, thank you, Kathy. Madam Chair, members of the board, and President Rowley, it's a pleasure to be here today. As Kathy mentioned, my name is Debbie Ramirez, and I'm an attorney with the Rhodey Law Firm. I have been involved in preparing the MOU and want to provide you with a brief summary of the key terms of the MOU. The MOU contemplates that the initial parties will be C&M, Clovis Community College, Northern New Mexico College, and Santa Fe Community College as Wave 1 institutions, with San Juan College being a party as a Wave 2 institution. The MOU is a cost-sharing agreement by which the member colleges agree to the allocation of the fees charged by Workday for various aspects of the systems in accordance with the procedure that Carolyn just described to you. The MOU provides that the allocations will be evaluated on an annual basis and as new institutions become members of Chess, and that's an important feature of the MOU. The MOU also contains provisions requiring each college to cooperate in good faith in the implementation of the systems and to comply with Workday's requirements for use of the systems. The MOU allows for withdrawal of a college in the event that the college does not receive appropriations or other funding to pay its share of the Workday fees. Each college is required by the MOU to seek funding from appropriations or other amounts or other sources in an amount sufficient to cover that college's allocated share of the Workday fees. Unless anybody has any questions, I will turn it back over to Kathy.
What happens when a college decides to drop out, to change, to terminate? What happens with the fees? Do the fees for everyone else go up?
Madam Chair, Mr. Gamble, yes, through the allocation methodology, the percentage would be adjusted accordingly.
And the requirement on each of the participants is for a specific period of time?
Debbie, would you like to address that? Or
Sure,
Chair?
ma'am. Mr. Gamble, the agreement provides that it is, the term of the agreement is until all of the member institutions decide to terminate the agreement. So as long as an institution is a member of CHESS, it will continue to be able to access and use the Workday systems, and then of course pay its allocated share of the fees for use of the systems.
So I guess I didn't quite follow that. I mean, are we making a commitment for 1 year, for 5 years, for 10 years? What's our commitment?
Madam Chair, Member Gamble, the term of the initial term of the MOU, I believe, is 10 years. I'm sorry, not the MOU, the Workday agreements is 10 years. So there's a potential for a member college to be a user and a member of CHESS for that 10-year period. Of course, under the procurement code, the procedures will need to be followed for determining whether to continue the agreement near the end of the 10-year period.
Hello, this is Member Pugh. Just one follow-on question to some of George's. And for that 10-year period, if I have this right, San Fe Community Colleges would be kind of overall 16% of the cost?
Madam Chair, Ms. Pugh, the percentage will be evaluated annually based on some of those factors that Ms. Moran shared in her presentation. She had a list of variables related to things like growth of the different institutions. So we don't anticipate that all institutions would grow at the same pace. And that could ultimately, in the annual review, adjust the percentages. Also, as new institutions join the collaborative, that brings new members in, and so that also would adjust the percentages annually. So it is really the methodology that is embedded in the MOU. The percentages that have been shared with you are the initial percentages using that methodology.
Okay, and just one last question. Is there a cap to that percentage at all?
Madam Chair, Ms. Pugh, no, there is not.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I see on the MOU that there are termination fees, to George's question. So you would have some termination fees if you want to drop out before the contract period ends.
Yes, that is correct.
Other questions on this?
If
Okay.
there are no further questions at this point, I would like to finally give you just a brief overview of the fundraising efforts that are underway to support this work. I'm sure you're aware the project did receive over $3 million in support from the New Mexico legislature during the last legislative session. We are again moving forward with a request for state funding to be considered in the session beginning in January of 2022. But while it's very early in the process, we have already received an endorsement of support from the New Mexico Higher Education Department. We were listed as their second priority following a project that was designed to support their own agency needs. So the number one college-related project on their list. Of course, there's a long way to go to get through the next legislative session, but so far we're receiving positive feedback. In addition, I'd like to let you know that both Senator Ben Ray Lujan and Senator Martin Heinrich have indicated support for this work. Both senators have requested congressionally directed funding for the project. Senator Heinrich has championed the effort through Senate Appropriations Committee. And again, there's a long way to go through the process and no guarantees, but to date, we are very grateful for the positive support we received from our U.S. Senate delegation. And to round out the efforts to achieve financial support, we do have a team of experienced college grant writers, including your own at Santa Fe, poised to apply for various federal grant opportunities as they open for proposals. And in addition, we continue to court private foundations who have expressed an interest in our work. And with that, that concludes our presentation. We'd be happy to address any additional questions you might have and then allow President Rowley to make any final closing comments.
So does anybody have any other questions? Kathy, is that are Heinrich and Lujan trying to get earmarks? Specific earmarks? Okay, all right.
Apparently, congressionally directed funding is the correct terminology for earmarks.
Yeah, right. Okay. The new term.
The new term, yes, ma'am.
Okay, I guess you can, President Rowley, go ahead.
Thank you, Member Siegel. So before we call for a vote, I'd like to, again, thank everybody who has worked on this project, specifically Kathy and all of her leadership and support in this. Also from Campus Works, the entire team at Campus Works, but especially Carolyn Moran and Liz Murphy. I mean, I feel like Carolyn is on staff at Santa Fe Community College too, because she's been in so many meetings, just, week after week after week, early in the morning that, we've never met in person, but we have worked a lot together. Many of the staff at Santa Fe Community College who have really delved into this with a ferocity that is really impressive. Laura Mulry has been the PIO for the project and headed up all of the publicity, and that has been part of Santa Fe Community College's contribution. And then of course our finance team, especially on this project, Nick Tejas and Amy Pell has really led the financial piece with this. And then the CNM team, including Jerry Becker, I really don't know that anybody else could have pulled off the procurement for this. So thank you, Jerry, for everything that you've done. And I don't want to leave anyone out because there have been a lot of people and there are going to be a lot more people. But this really is, as I said, the most ambitious, the most exciting, what's going to have payoff for our students of anything I've ever even contemplated working on in my million years in higher education. So with that, Madam Chair, we would request that you all would approve the MOU and we would go forth.
Okay, well, I know that we've been working on this for a very long time, and I know the board really appreciates all the effort that's gone into it. And finally, the legislature came through for us, so good work on that. So we're just approving the MOU, not the cost sharing agreement, is that it? Correct?
Madam Chair, the cost sharing agreement is a component of the MOU.
It's a part of it, okay. So can we have a motion to approve the MOU?
So moved.
This is George. I move to approve the MOU.
I
And Member
second.
Quintana, second.
Yes.
Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I think you have unanimous approval.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yes,
you.
thank you. I'm glad the meeting didn't go till 8.
Yes, I am. I think there was a conflict.
Okay, so
was a
do we have
threat.
anything else? George?
I say that putting down that it was going to go to 8 o'clock was a threat.
Good. Okay, can we have a motion to adjourn?
I move to
So
adjourn.
moved.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, aye.
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 All right. Thank you all so much.